back, looters. So today on Drink Your Own Adventure, we have Mickey's Christmas Carol Adventure. Woo! And to go with our Christmassy theme, our drink today is Jones Special Release Turkey and Gravy Soda, which Carrie's very excited about. Tell them all about it, Carrie. We've not tried this before, so as we drink, our reactions will be 100% genuine. I know that Carrie is...
Are we trying to get Jones as a sponsor, or are we trying to avoid Jones as being a sponsor?
I am still working on Dippin' Dots as a sponsor.
Because I don't feel like this is going to get me Jones as a sponsor.
We'll see. I know that this was kind of made as like a semi-joke, but they've released it more than once, so...
yeah, but they've released the McRib more than once, too.
People love the McRib. I don't know that that's a fair comparison.
No, but that's a good thing.
Alright, so do we have a back blurb? Oh, we do. It's Christmas Eve. Wow. It's Christmas Eve. Old Ebenezer Scrooge has dropped his watch in the snow, and you followed him to his scary-looking house to give it back. You walk up the stairs to Scrooge's bedroom and peek through the keyhole. We're breaking and entering into Scrooge's house?
Good
Oh
idea.
no! He's talking to a ghost! What should you do?
Report him as being a crazy person.
Alright, so we are like a little non-animal child. And in the vein of most Choose Your Own Adventure books, we're like a little white boy. So for those of you new to the show, we have 3 rules. If we have to make a choice, we're gonna take a sip of our delicious beverage. Call me Jones. If we die or get a bad ending, you take a big drink, and we come up with a 3rd rule based on the back blurb of the story. We have not been very good at this part, so that actually bodes really well for you in this case. So we're about to spend Christmas Eve with Scrooge and a ghost. So what do you want our 3rd rule to be? You're like, every time a dinosaur shows up, every time you say a swear word.
That could be bad. We could get drunk off that one.
Every time in the book you say a swear word,
okay.
which
Well,
is not gonna happen. Because it's Disney and this is meant for like pretty little kids.
It's gotta be something that could possibly happen.
Mm-hmm. But is fairly unlikely to happen because I know you're very excited about drinking
Oh, I'm
this
very
soda.
excited. Like I said, are we trying for this as a sponsor or not? Could it be every time he talks to one of the 3 ghosts?
Every time our character?
Yes.
Okay, so I would assume
and
every
when I
new
say-
instance.
Right, but every time, in other words, every time our character interacts with
One of the 3 ghosts.
one of the 3 ghosts. And I'm even willing to include Jacob Marley as one of the
ghosts.
that we were referring
Every
to.
time we talk to a ghost in a separate setting. So like if we're talking to him and then we flip a page and we're still talking to them, does not count.
That's not count.
But if we take a different path where we run into him
And we
that would
have to
count.
be the ones that interact with, as in not Ebenezer interacts with them.
We don't
but
see
through-
Scrooge talking to him. We are saying something to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Works
yeah.
for me.
In other words, it's basically every time. This also means we would have to acknowledge that he is there,
Right.
and that it acknowledges that we are there, and
Sure.
does that make sense?
All right. So each unique instance of us, the child, talking to one of the ghosts.
One of the ghosts.
All right. Oh god, why do they always have a read this first? Read this first! Most books are about other people. I think this is the exact same opening
we
to
should check
Spooky
that.
Thanksgiving. Most books are about other people. This book is about you and Ebenezer Scrooge. Scrooge is a mean old miser who hates Christmas, in case you've never watched a Christmas Carol movie of any kind. He goes about the city of London with a bah humbug on his lips all December. What happens in the story depends on what you decide to do. Do not read this book from the first page through to the last page. Okay, blah, blah, blah. It's snowy Christmas Eve and the spirit of Christmas is all around. Scrooge thinks it's humbug. But before the night is over, he's gonna meet a real spirit or two. Oh, and as always, Carrie and I will switch who's reading in between choices. Just in case. One snowy Christmas Eve in Old London, you're walking along, carrying a basket filled with food and presents. You and your friends are going from door to door, singing Christmas carols and delivering gifts to poor families. As you wave to a small boy in one house, you bump into a crusty old gentleman. What a nice kid we are. This crusty old guy. Excuse me, sir, you say. I didn't see you. All of a sudden you recognize the old man. By the way, the old man is a duck. So, it's just Scrooge McDuck. I don't know why they're calling him a man. He's Ebenezer Scrooge, the richest, meanest, stingiest man in town. Scrooge shakes his cane at you and says, "Have you no respect for your elders, you little whippersnapper?" I can't do a good Scottish accent, sorry. I'm sorry, you say. Scrooge cuts you off with a loud humph and hurries up the steps of his dark, gloomy house. Well, Merry Christmas anyway, you call after him. Christmas? Humbug! Answers Scrooge. A waste of time and money. You shake your head and look around for your friends. They've gone ahead. You start after them when you see something shiny in the snow. You pick it up. It's a gold watch. Did Scrooge drop it? Maybe you should knock on his door and ask him. But you're afraid of the gloomy house. What is it with kids in Choose Your Own Adventure books? They're afraid of the weirdest things. People dressed up like pilgrims. Oh no!
You know, the reality is...
A house!
You return Scrooge's watch to him. Why Scrooge, potentially being a rich man, would have money enough to reward you with a copper or two.
He's the stingiest man in town. He's gonna be like, "Don't touch my watch," and spit in your face. Alright, you're afraid of the gloomy house and the watch may not belong to Scrooge. Besides, your friends are almost out of sight now. It might be better to catch up with them and try to find the owner later. If you decide to go after Scrooge, turn to page 4. If you go after your friends, turn to page 6. And I'm going to show you guys the pictures because that's a thing we do here. A free service from us to you. Alright, and since there's a choice, we have to, we gotta take a drink.
Or just you?
We both do.
Oh.
We have not changed the rules.
Oh, really? We're gonna evaluate these rules.
What does my cap say? Your friends will be generous with invitations.
Okay, wait.
Oh.
It's like...
It smells meaty, but like...
Yeah.
But like bouillon. Yeah. Shut up, cars. Alright. Cheers. This is for you, Jones Soda. Give us a sponsorship. That's not as bad as I thought, but I would not drink this for
all
fun.
I taste is the sucralose.
Yeah, like it's a little turkey-y, but...
All I taste... It tastes like really bad diet soda.
Kind of, yeah. They're like, what flavor is that? I don't know, brown flavored?
Brown flavored diet soda.
It's okay.
Yeah, all I taste is the sucralose.
Yeah. Alright, so are we going to return the watch, or are we going after our friends?
Alright, I guess we go after Scrooge.
Alright.
Oh boy, we just break an enter. It's just a little B&E here, folks.
Just a wee crime.
Just a wee bit of B&E. So, here we are, going up the stairs.
The inside of Scrooge's house already. We're not even trying to knock. We're like, "Hello, Mr. Scrooge. I see you don't have your door locked. Please give me a shilling for returning your watch."
You look at the watch again as you slowly climb up the steps of Scrooge's house. You see the letters E and S on the back of the watch. E.S. Ebenezer Scrooge? It is his watch. You reach for the knocker on the door. But as your fingers touch it, the door opens by itself. Cautiously, you step inside. Mr. Scrooge, are you there? You call.
Well, see, we didn't break and enter. The door let us in, which would not hold up in a court of law, but you know.
Nobody answers. The door slams shut behind you. You turn around and try to open it. It won't budge. There's only one thing to do. You'll have to go upstairs and find Scrooge. Because that's exactly what
we can't just leave it for him if we're pretty sure this is his watch. Just leave it at the front of the house.
I know, that was, no.
No, because then we would not get a story.
At the top of the steps, you come to a door and knock. Silence. You put your ear to the door to see if you can hear anything. Okay. Suddenly, you hear Scrooge cry, "Please, Marley, go away! You were once my partner, but now you're dead. Leave me alone."
I love how Scrooge is just like, exposition!
You peek through the keyhole and see a dark, shadowy figure. It's dragging a long chain and a heavy metal chest. Scrooge is talking with the spirit. "Ebenezer Scrooge," wails the ghost. "This chest contains all my past sins. I am doomed to carry it forever." So I'm going to go ahead and let you see the pictures.
Yeah. Is it Goofy?
It's Goofy.
Okay.
Tonight you will be visited by 3 spirits. The ghost of Marley continues. "Listen to them. This is your last chance to stop being such a miser. Otherwise,
give me a
you will
shilling.
end up as I am." Marley's ghost is terrifying to see. "Maybe you should just leave the watch by the bedroom door and try again to get out of the house. But Scrooge may need your help. Perhaps you should knock once more. If you decide to leave the watch, turn to page 20. If you decide to knock on the door, turn to page 12.
Oh boy, we get to take another drink. Alright, I feel like...
Yum yum sucralose.
Refreshing. Blech.
Yet again, us trying to get Jones as a sponsor.
Mmm, so good. Okay, so I feel like the right choice is to knock on the door and be like, "Mr. Scrooge, are you being terrorized by a ghost?
Oh.
Hello?" Because my
I don't think either of these are good options, because you know Scrooge is going to hate us if we knock. And
well, I feel like if we leave the watch, we're just gonna go down the stairs and they'll be like, "The door is locked. Oh, you gotta go up there anyway."
All right.
This book is not very long comparatively to the other ones, so we're just gonna...
Oh, is there like a... in the cap, is there like a fortune?
I read to you mine. It was like, your friends will be very generous with invitations.
Oh.
They're not gonna give me presents, but damn, they'll invite me to stuff.
Mine says, "Doors shall soon open for you."
Oh, we gotta knock on the door! As you're about to knock, Marley... It didn't even matter. As you're about to knock, Marley's ghost passes right through the door. A moment later, Scrooge opens it. He jumps when he sees you. "What are you doing here?" he exclaims. "You startled me!" Okay, thank you for informing me of that. I assumed when you jumped when you saw me. You explain about his watch, then hand it to him. "Maybe you could stay a while," Scrooge says in a shaky voice. "I'm not too fond of ghosts." He doesn't know that we saw the ghost. Like, the ghost walked by us, we're like, "Oh man, a ghost!" And he's like, "I don't like ghosts." Yeah, I mean, sure. You hesitate. After all, it is Christmas Eve. Okay. "Alright," you say, "but not for long." I guess we're being nice.
Well, but I think we gotta be home or to our...
Well, we were doing a charity drive where we were collecting presents for kids, I think was sort of what they said. In a little while, you and Scrooge are sitting in his drawing room, having tea and cookies. Scrooge is half asleep in his chair. "I'm so tired," he moans, "but I'm afraid to go to sleep. Spirits. Humph." Suddenly, he looks at you with great interest. "If you could stand watch here while I go to sleep, that would be a great kindness."
I just feel like this is 100% out of character for Ebenezer Scrooge.
There's the pictures. I want to know, does he not think that ghosts will come into his dreams? He think they'll just physically terrorize him. they'll be like standing over him being like, boo! And a little kid can like shoo them away. Alright. You begin to feel sorry for the old man. All right, I'll stay a bit longer, you say. Scrooge nods gratefully and goes to his bedroom. You settle into a chair. You feel a little sleepy yourself. Yeah, because we're like 10. It's past our bedtime, Mr. Duck. The next thing you know, a tiny creature is pulling on your sleeve. I'm the ghost of Christmas past, and I'm looking for Ebenezer Scrooge, the creature says.
God damn, we got
Do you know where he is? A ghost, you better answer his question. You point shakily to the locked bedroom. Well, don't just sit there as if you've seen a ghost, says the ghost. Let's go in. Like magic, you find yourself standing by Scrooge's bed. Wake up, Scrooge, says the little ghost. Time to go. Scrooge's eyes fly open. Go? Go where? He asks, frightened. It's Jiminy Cricket, by the way. A little ghost. On a visit to your past, replies the ghost. Now hold on to me. Scrooge and the ghost rise into the air. They start to fly towards the window. You grab Scrooge's hand. Suddenly you're outside. This is all our fault. We didn't have to be in this story. Suddenly you're outside, skimming over the rooftops. Where's the ghost taking you? Do you really want to take a trip back in time? You can still let go and drop onto the roof if you want to. That escalated quickly. They're like, oh, you're only like 5 feet up. You probably won't break all your bones as you slide down the roof. If you hold on and stay with Scrooge and the ghost, turn to page 24. If you let go, turn to page 29. I need a chaser. Ugh.
So here are the pictures.
Ooh, ah.
Ooh, ah.
I couldn't see them. Huh.
With Daisy.
Oh, is there...
Young Ebenezer and Daisy Duck.
That's because there's no other female ducks, are there?
Well, there is a
female equivalent for Scrooge?
Well, yeah, it's...
Does she have a name?
Yes, it's, Old Goldie, my dear.
Oh.
And she's awful.
Well, that's why they chose Daisy. Also, this is for, like, younger kids. They're not gonna be like, oh, that's Donald's girlfriend! They'll be like, oh, it's a duck. Okay.
The ghost of Christmas past flies you and Scrooge a long way. Then the ghost dips down. You all land outside a cheerful little building. Why, this is Fezziwig's place, cries Scrooge. I used to work here. You look in the window and see a young man dancing with a young woman. And that's me, cries Scrooge, when I was young. The girl is Isabel. Oh,
sure.
Those were happy times. Fezziwig was very kind to me. And Fezziwig is...
Mr. Toad.
Mr. Toad.
It's fair.
But I threw away all that happiness and the woman I loved because I was more in love with gold, murmurs Scrooge. I see that now. Well, he grows up fast.
He's like, there's only like 40 pages in this book, we gotta go.
That's good, very good, says the ghost of Christmas past.
Oh, he's like, oh, we're done.
Something already.
Good job.
You're just starting to feel cold when all of a sudden you and Scrooge find yourselves back in his house.
Wow, that was really fast. He's like, oh, Isabel, I shouldn't have been such a greedy person. Done.
Oh dear, cries Scrooge. That was very hard on me.
Was
There
it?
are 2 more ghosts yet to come. Suddenly a huge hand lifts you and Scrooge in the air.
That was fast.
It's the hand of a giant. I am the ghost of Christmas present, roars the giant, and I'm going to show you how some people are celebrating Christmas on this very night. The giant drops you and Scrooge into his pocket.
Oh.
He climbs out through the roof of Scrooge's house and squeezes between the buildings of the city. Now, I'm not counting this as us interacting
He's
with
not
him,
talking to him.
because, and it doesn't mean he knows about us. The key is he has to...
we need to interact.
We need to interact somehow.
Yeah.
Because it could just be a coincidence that we're standing next to him when we get picked up. You travel through the snow-covered streets until you come to a plain little house. The giant tells Scrooge to look in the window. You groan. It's nice and cozy in the giant's pocket. You try to decide whether to stay there or join Scrooge at the window in the snow and cold.
So there's nothing that is, like, making us join Scrooge. And we shouldn't even really be here, so does it matter?
I think it's gonna matter in the story, but sure. Oh, by the way, this means we have to drink.
So if we stay in the giant's pocket, turn to page 34. If we join Scrooge at the window, go to page 36. So yeah, I mean, we have to join Scrooge at the window, but, like, story-wise, I don't know that it really matters that much in the aftertaste. It's like does it. Alright, so we're gonna join Scrooge at the window.
Alright. Because we're trying to get through this.
Powering through. Alright. When you peek in the window, you realize that this is the house of Bob Cratchit, the poor clerk who works for Scrooge. We didn't even get, like, an intro to that. They're just like, yep, he sure works for him. The Cratchits are about to have their Christmas dinner, a scrawny little chicken. See how well they eat on the money you pay your clerk, says the giant grimly. How stingy I've been, cries Scrooge. In that moment, we didn't even need, they're just like, look, it's a little chicken. And he's like, oh no, oh God. At that moment, Cratchit's littlest child limps into the room. And I'll show you the pictures. It's Mickey and Minnie and some other mice. Who's that? asked Scrooge. That's Tiny Tim. That's Tiny Tim, growls the giant. I'm afraid the poor child might die soon. Why? asked Scrooge. He's very ill, and Bob Cratchit is much too poor to afford a good doctor for him.
What is going on in that picture?
I don't know. Suddenly we find ourselves growing dizzy. That's us getting dizzy. Everything grows dark. What is going on? The next thing you know, oh, we're already done with that one. That's what happened. We're like, oh, the ghost of Christmas present. The next thing you know, you and Scrooge are in a cemetery. A huge monster is glowering at you. Are you the ghost of Christmas yet to come? Stammers Scrooge. Instead of answering, the monster points to a grave nearby. You both look and see Bob Cratchit bending over the grave with tears in his eyes. It's Tiny Tim's grave! Oh no! moans Scrooge. Don't let it be! The monster points to another grave, an open one. Scrooge bends over and looks down. He's looking, like, into the grave. He's like, who's in here? Whose grave is this? He asks. Yours! A big voice booms out. The monster, this is mean. It's just Pete. It's like, just Pete in a robe. Dude, they call him a monster. That's very rude. Yours! A big voice booms out. Then the monster pushes Scrooge into the open grave. You hear Scrooge screaming, help me, someone, please, I'll be better. I promise I'll never rob. He robbed people? The book just told us he was like, a miser. I didn't think he robbed people. He'll never rob or cheat anyone ever again. Never, never, never. Oh my god. We're like already at the end. You put your hands over your eyes in fright. Suddenly everything grows silent. You take your hands away from your eyes. I like how you didn't try to help him at all. He's like, oh no, I'm shoved into a grave. And you're like, this is a Disney book.
Like I said, I don't know why it's not from the perspective of us being Ebenezer
Scrooge,
in these
It's
things.
because we, as children reading this book, can only see ourselves as a child, I guess. I don't know. You take your hands away from your eyes. You and Scrooge are back in his bedroom. And it's Christmas morning. I don't know how we know that. Scrooge looks at you in relief. It's a miracle, he shouts. That was the ghost of Christmas future. Yeah, we know. We were there when you asked him if he was the ghost of Christmas yet to come. It's not too late to make things right. Tiny Tim is still alive. That would be a big downer. if you just run there and you're like, oh,
it's too late now.
Ghost wasn't right. Come on, he cries. We have a lot to do. I must buy a big turkey for Bob Cratchit and his family, and gifts for everyone. And then I must go... How many places are open on ye olde Christmas? Come on, man. And then I must go to my nephew's house for dinner. And, hold on, you say, laughing. You'll have time to do everything you want to. There's always enough time to do good. Okay. How true, cries Scrooge. Oh, you're a clever young person, indeed you are. The end. So, that was the real ending. Yeah. If you just leave Scrooge, there's a chance that you just have a good ending of you, like, giving Bob Cratchit some stuff for Christmas.
Well, because remember we were collecting stuff for Christmas.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah.
Can we give him a watch?
No, but it looks like there's a chicken head.
Oh, we know how he got the chicken now.
It's a little weird. There's just a...
That's how he has a chicken.
Whole ass chicken head in there. Like, okay. Yeah, so, I don't know, it's up to you. Do you want to read to the other good ending? Or we you're like, we're good. Stop it.
I think we should.
Okay. We can decide to not drink any more of the delicious soda.
It's so good. Joneses, call us. We haven't said anything bad.
So good.
About this soda. I think we've lost any chance of Joneses.
If we go after our friends, turn to page 6.
Okay. You run and run, but can't find your friends. You slow down and walk past shops filled with toys and plum puddings and fatties. Everywhere there are people with presents under their arms, wishing each other a Merry Christmas. Then the street branches off in 2 directions. Which way did your friends go? Right or left? Really?
Boy.
A whole page. They're really trying to make this thing a choose your adventure.
They're like, oh, you chose the wrong thing. I guess here, go right or left.
Go right or left.
Have an entire page and a half of pictures. That's what kids like, right? A page and a half of pictures of characters you don't even know, because they're not even officially licensed Disney characters.
Oh, let's go right.
Okay. Going right. You go to the right, run down the street, and turn another corner. Ahead you see a cheery bonfire. Can a bonfire really be that cheery?
Oh, they're very cheery.
Alright.
Especially when you're a pirate.
But where are your friends? When you're a pirate?
Pyro.
Oh, I thought you said pirate. I was like, okay. They must have gone the other way after all. You stop to think. Will you be able to catch up to your friends? You look around and see that you're standing in front of a cozy bakery. A cheery bonfire and a cozy bakery. In the window are plum puddings in little tins. You love plum pudding! Maybe you should go in and buy one for yourself. You're getting hungry. But you're also getting cold. Maybe you should warm yourself first by the bonfire. If you decide to buy a plum pudding, go to page 38. If you decide to warm yourself, go to page 32.
How much money do I have?
I don't know. It does not say. I can assume that you have one watch that you could barter and a basket full of random things.
That I've gotten from people and said that I was going to give away. That I'm now going to use to buy
to be fair,
plum pudding.
You're giving it away to trade for a plum pudding. Are you buying the plum pudding? Is that what's happening? Well, you have to choose and then tell them what you're doing.
Alright, I'm gonna go warm myself.
And we're switching to some apple cider mixture.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already did drink my apple cider. Oh, this is gonna be the end of this one. You walk over to the bonfire and put down your basket. You spread your hands out in front of you and enjoy the warmth of the blaze. Then you turn your hands over to toast the other sides. As you turn to leave, you see a little match girl coming toward the fire.
Okay.
You look so sad. She looks so sad and lonely that you begin to feel sad too.
We could have had a plum pudding. Come on, Carrie.
Do you have a home? You ask her kindly.
What?
The little match girl shakes her head no. Suddenly you have a wonderful idea. Why don't you come home with me and spend Christmas Eve with my family? The little girl's eyes light up. Come on then, you say as you take her hand. You're glad you stopped to warm yourself by the fire. Now you feel warm outside and inside. The end. So she's going to have a home for one night, folks.
Hey, that's better than no nights. But still kind of weird. You're just like, hey, come on, little orphan, let's go. Then we can kick you out later. Okay, I want to buy the plum pudding because I'm really curious what that ends up doing. Oh boy!
Oh.
You go into the bakery, put down your basket, and fumble in your pocket for some money. See, we did have some money.
Huh.
As you do so, the gold watch you found falls onto the floor. A constable nearby picks it up for you. That's a handsome watch, he says with a smile. Then he looks at it again and frowns. Here now, I know this watch. It belongs to Ebenezer Scrooge. I know the old gentleman well. That's a weird thing to say. I found it, you say. I was gonna give it back. I'm not so sure about that, says the constable. Mr. Scrooge is very careful with his Okay, no, he's not. He's not very careful because you dropped the watch. That's just a fact. He doesn't lose them. The constable grabs you by the back of your jacket. We better go and see about this. He drags you out of the bakery. Oh no, what a horrible way to spend Christmas Eve. Accused of being a thief. Dirty cop. That's what that is. Okay, so we went right, and then we had the plum pudding.
Yeah,
so we gotta go
right.
left.
Let's go left now. You run around the corner to the left and bump into some people. You know them. It's Bob Cratchit and a young man named Fred.
Fred? Oh, Fred is Donald. Hooray, Fred. Everyone's favorite Christmas Carol character.
Yeah, that's it. It's the Christmas Carol character.
Okay.
I think it's Fred.
He was not my favorite, because I don't remember
No, I didn't say
him.
Fred. I just said that's the nephew. My nephew.
Oh, the nephew. Okay.
Cratchit works for Scrooge, and Fred happens to be Scrooge's nephew.
Oh, there you go.
Then you see that Cratchit's son, Tiny Tim, is with them. The little boy is very sick and must walk with a crutch. Hello there, you say. Where are you all
Hello.
going? I'm on my way home. Alone, says Fred sadly. I came into town only to invite my Uncle Scrooge to our family Christmas dinner. As usual, he has refused.
But I'm gonna keep trying and then being sad. Oh, what does it say? Internal temp high. Allow it to cool.
Alright, so here's the page. And it says, and Tim and I are on our way home too, says Cratchit. We've bought our Christmas dinner. He shows you a scrawny little chicken and some pale plums. Your heart goes out to the Cratchits.
We're also kind of rude.
Works hard for Scrooge, but makes so little money he can't even afford a proper Christmas meal. Suddenly, you remember that you still have your basket of food and presents. You hand it to Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim and say, please take this and have a very Merry Christmas. They peek in the basket. Why, thank you, Cratchit says. This will be the best Christmas we've ever had. You and Fred smile at each other. You feel so good about helping the Cratchit family that it has turned out to be the best Christmas you have ever had, too.
The end.
So yes, we just gave away the stuff we collected for the needy to the Cratchits.
I mean, they were needy.
They were needy, but instead of helping lots and lots of needy families like the little matchstick girl, instead we're just going to help.
We already helped her. We sent her home with us.
There was a different ending. She's not. Now she's just starving.
I mean, technically, we just know that she was cold. Okay, so if we don't knock on Scrooge's door and we just leave, then this is what happens.
As good, productive citizens like we are, that's what we're going to do.
We're like, oops, we were breaking into this man's house. Time to go.
It's just a little B&E. Don't mind us.
As you bend down to leave, the watch by Scrooge's bedroom... Oh, let me try that again. As you bend down to leave the watch by Scrooge's bedroom door, the ghost of Marley floats through it and trips over you. The ghost stumbles down the long flight of stairs. Oh my god.
It is very good that we didn't choose this path, because we would have had to drink.
The heavy metal chest tumbles after him. Clank, clank, clank. Halfway down, the chest flies open. It bounces along with its cover flapping up and down. Marley's ghost lands in a heap at the bottom of the stairs. You gasp and run down. Are you hurt, you ask? I don't even know how a ghost would hurt himself. He's a ghost. No, replies Marley's ghost.
You don't know the physics of ghosts, okay?
As a matter of fact, I've never felt better, and it's because of you. What do you mean, you ask in surprise? The ghost points to the open chest. Is this like a Pandora's box situation? We just let out all of Goofy's bad deeds into the world? All my sins are gone, the ghost of Marley cries. They left when the chest flew open. Now I won't have to carry them around anymore. I am forgiven at last. You have made this the happiest Christmas since my death. You never expected to help a ghost, but you're glad you've made someone happy. After all, that's the real spirit of Christmas.
I don't think we just forgave his sins.
Apparently all you have to do is open up a chest, and that is all you have to do to relieve someone's sins. Okay, so if
we're gonna let go.
If we let go of
and
Scrooge.
Go falling to our death.
No, it's a
Disney book.
It's a Disney book. We're just gonna like land in a snow pile or something.
You let go of Scrooge. Now you're falling. You look down. You're heading up for a chimney. You drift down the chimney until you hit the bottom with a thump.
We drift down the chimney?
Physics. He's falling much faster than a nice drift, okay? It's screaming.
We couldn't afford physics in this book.
You stand up quickly and stagger out the fireplace and into a small parlor. It's dark and you can't see a thing. You stumble and knock over a stack of presents.
We've broken into someone else's house.
Just Santa Claus, sir. Please don't arrest me.
It's just me, a small 10-year-old boy in your house covered in soot.
You're just picking up the presents when there is a flicker of candlelight. You see the family that lives in the house staring at you in amazement. Is it Father Christmas, Papa? Asks a little girl. No, it's not Father Christmas, he replies angrily. And this young person had better have a good reason for being in our house. You sigh and look up at the ceiling. You're never going to believe your story.
They're never going
to believe your story.
You're never going to believe your own story. Or else.
But you decide to tell the truth anyway. You see, you say, I was walking along when I bumped into this old fellow, Ebenezer Scrooge.
I love this. I love this picture of us being like...
This picture is going to lead to the picture of him being drug away with the constable in a couple of seconds.
Alright. The last one was if we just stay in the giant's pocket. If we stay in the Ghost of Christmas Presents pocket. You nestle in the warmth of the giant's pocket and grow sleepy. In a little while you feel the giant moving. You realize that he's walking away. Drowsily you wonder where he's going and where Scrooge is. But you're so comfortable, you just snuggle up and close your eyes. Suddenly, the giant picks you out of his pocket. You gasp in surprise. Why would you gasp in surprise? You've been in his pocket. He was gonna take you out eventually.
And we were gonna have to get a drink if we'd taken this option too.
What are you doing in my pocket? The giant asks. Scrooge went home a long time ago. Well, take me back too, you say. I don't know if I can, replies the ghost. I'm fading away. When Christmas is over, I'll disappear altogether. But I'll do my best. You hope that the ghost can get you back to your family soon. Otherwise, you're gonna miss Christmas this year. You're gonna miss Christmas. You're also maybe gonna... Okay, but like, he just took you across town, right? Because you were just at Bob Cratchit's house. So, like, you can walk home, kid.
He's not there anymore. He's gone on to the spirit.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so you're just stuck in the spirit world forever. That's the end.
Happy ending.
Yay, I guess. So that was Ricky's Christmas adventure. And what did you think, Carrie? Was this Christmassy enough for you?
Yeah.
You're the
I know.
non-Christmas related winter holiday choose your own adventure books, please let us know in the comments below, because I'm very interested in that.
I don't think they exist.
Well,
like skiing or...
Oh, maybe.
You know what I mean? Snow.
General winter themed.
Related.
But if you have another winter holiday, if you have like a Hanukkah choose your own adventure book or a Kwanzaa choose your own adventure book, very interested in hearing about those, so let us know. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to this channel, and if you haven't already, if you just came here because you heard about this show, go and check out our other channel, Loot and Loot, straight up. We talk about board games, other gaming topics, and if you're interested in making your own board game, we have a video series about what that sort of looks like from beginning to end. So go and check it out. Turn on notifications, tell your friends, all that good stuff.
Tell your enemies.
We appreciate you, and thanks so much. See you next time.
Well, I'm a Scorpio, and that's why everybody likes me.
Yes.
That is
charming.
Definitively the least likely thing to happen.